You won't believe what happens next. Her tragic fate sparked a local furor. Police sealed off the scene. Media outlets rushed to report. The police conducted interviews to confirm the victim's identity, ultimately unveiling the truth through the recognition of an elder. Her name is Saba, a nearby university teacher, young and beautiful, yet her true magic is her kind heart. This beloved teacher, adored by her students, became a victim of such an outrageous murder. The media's use of terms like rape and body burning left the students in disbelief. They spontaneously organized a memorial ceremony to mourn their beloved teacher. They hoped this action would urge the police to quickly find the murderer and avenge Saba, but the principal's comments left everyone stunned. When faced with Saba's misfortune, the principal was less concerned about whether the murderer was at large and more worried about the negative impact on the schools. The principal not only failed to speak up for Saba, but also blamed her for being at school so late, showing some unconscious bias against women. This comment immediately sparked outrage among the students. They couldn't believe the tragic loss of their teacher seemed so insignificant to the authority. To seek justice for Saba, many students spontaneously gathered in front of Gandhi's statue to protest passionately. Their furious shouts spread like wildfire, and as the protests intensified, heavily armed police stormed onto the campus like a surprise raid. Unarmed students were suppressed, many injured and hospitalized, but one student named Goli, using her last ounce of strength, managed to upload the scene video online. Goli's words quickly garnered attention, and more university students began to speak out. The media began to report extensively, questioning why the police were chasing peaceful protesters instead of capturing the murderer, and demanded a reasonable explanation from the government. As the situation escalated, Deputy Commissioner Kuma appeared, with a markedly different attitude from other officers, and apologized to the students. He promised everyone an explanation, and informed Saba's mother that he would apprehend the murderer within 30 days, igniting a spark of hope. This escalating tumult temporarily calmed down, but all eyes were on him. If he failed to capture the murderer, a new storm would brew. Kuma, along with his team, conducted thorough investigations around the area, ultimately identifying a crucial lead through the surveillance footage at the gas station, and the crime scene just happened to be positioned between the gas station and the toll booth, with no other side streets or residential areas nearby. A total of 96 vehicles passed the gas station on that stretch, but only 94 reached the toll booth, indicating that 2 vehicles must have stopped for a long time. After filtering, one was a motorcycle, the other a car. As Kuma and his team debated, the motorcycle owner confessed. She confessed to Kuma that she was rushing home after work that night, not realizing that driving too fast could lead to an accident. Her car hit the railing. Groggily waking, she saw 4 people burning something. Later, reading the newspaper, she learned of the teacher's tragic death. Thus, she came to provide evidence. The motorcycle driver's account matched the traces at the scene, leading Kuma to clear her as the suspect. The police swiftly identified 4 suspects from the gas station surveillance footage. Investigations revealed they had criminal records, but bizarrely, there were no traces of them. It appeared that the identities of these 4 individuals were somehow being protected by higher-ups. If that were the case, even if they were captured, it would be pointless. Just then, Kuma unexpectedly received a phone call. A superior officer unexpectedly inquired about the investigation's progress, and Kuma sensed trouble, hesitating before denying everything. Unsure if the caller shielded them, she'd keep silent till the murderer was caught. Perhaps it was that element of surprise that caused those officers to be caught, and now Kuma faced unprecedented pressure. However, her officers did capture some suspects, but surprisingly, upon arrival at the precinct, the media announced their apprehension. Clearly, someone within leaked this information early, infuriating Kuma. She hadn't intended to alert higher-ups before the criminals confessed, but now she was forced to make them confess early. Little did she know, during the interrogation, these thugs came off more arrogant than the last, showing zero remorse and boldly claiming they'd be released soon. Meanwhile, students who heard about the criminals' capture gathered outside the precinct, passionately demanding justice for teacher Saba. Kuma felt some helplessness. She needed to quickly gather enough evidence to convict these criminals. In the end, however, she was still a step behind. Failing to report to her superiors in time, she faced a reprimand from the police commissioner. He stated that this case was far from being as simple as it appeared on the surface, and internal messages further indicated that if the investigation were to continue, Kuma's family could face potential threats. Just as Kuma was considering stepping back, a group of individuals entered the precinct wanting to see the criminals, promising they could get released soon if they cooperated. Kuma's subordinates could only watch helplessly as these criminals strutted around with impunity. Just as he was about to inform Kuma, a phone call came through. The commissioner conveyed orders from above to transfer the 4 criminals. Kuma was completely taken off guard that the protective umbrella extended so swiftly. She had no choice but to comply with the orders. On the way to the transfer, the 4 criminals openly chatted about their imminent release, appearing quite thrilled. Kuma recalled the helpless students and the grieving mother who lost her daughter, and after much thought, she made a bold decision. She ordered her team to drive to a secluded beach, and then in an instant, as the criminals got out of the car, without the slightest hesitation, she pulled out her weapon and swiftly pulled the trigger, and as a few deafening gunshots echoed, another event that sent shockwaves reverberating across the nation unfolded once again. Upon learning that these criminals were shot dead, many applauded, and Saba's mother felt a sense of relief. Finally, someone stood up for her daughter's justice, and the police quickly held a press conference, characterizing the incident as a response to an armed assault. Naturally, there would always be critics. The Human Rights Committee quickly condemned this abuse of power.